Swarupa Isha Jagatisha Akhilananda Swarupa Isha. Today when I was sitting in the Samyama hall in the morning, there were some things that we had to attend to, and I was just about to write a note to someone saying tomorrow what to do. And I wrote one word, tomorrow, and this word tomorrow hit me so hard. So I wrote a small poem instead of a note, not to that person but to you. So this poem is called Tomorrow. A day that never came but has managed to spoil every game. A day that never came but has managed to spoil every game. One day that takes all the blame, the basis of all fear and shame. Cripples the blossoming of the life's flame, a spoiler that makes life a dream. Traps the limitless in a limited seam. One day that takes all the blame, the basis of all fear and shame. Cripples the blossoming of life's flame, a spoiler that makes life a dream. Traps the limitless in a limited seam. A day that never comes, but the world it rules. A day that never comes, but the world it rules. Tomorrow never happened to anybody, but the idea of tomorrow has robbed people, a huge mass of people, of their life. Just the idea. Nobody ever touched a tomorrow in their life. Nobody ever experienced one. Nobody ever saw one. But just the idea completely robs people of everything that could be life. What shall we do for tomorrow's darshan? Oh, tomorrow when I come to darshan, I'll bring an umbrella. Yeah. Darshan means to behold. You can only behold now. You can never behold tomorrow. Not because it's out of reach, because it doesn't exist. You can only imagine tomorrow. You will never behold tomorrow. Never, ever. But still, for most human beings, it is this an idea whose time will never come. It is that idea which drives most people's lives, unfortunately. Even if you drive your life with an idea, even if you drive your life with an idea, you must drive with an idea whose time may come sometime. But this is an idea whose time will never come, but it still drives people. It still drives most lives on the planet. That is why most lives on this planet are not lives, they're just bunch of thoughts, emotions, ideas, prejudices. Most lives are not a reality, they're just a psychological… they're just a psychological existence. They're just a dream. Because reality happens now, reality happens here. In your mind, only a dream can happen. And life and death will happen today. Dream is about tomorrow. It's better to dream of something that'll come true. Tomorrow is a dream that'll never come true. So, what you refer to as spiritual process, it's about knowing life. You can know life only today. You can know life only now. This is the moment. I'm not trying to give you a teaching. When I said, this is the moment, or Sadhguru said, this is the moment, it's not about that. This moment is not an idea, it is the only reality. This moment is not a teaching, it is the only living thing. It is the only living thing in the existence is right now, nothing else. So, don't try to understand it, don't try to digest it, you just have to behold it in all its entirety. Start with the rain. Good way to begin.
Future seems very hopeful to you, because you have seen how it is in various places. So, human nature may be same, but still how it is going to be in the future, is there any…
Prediction? What's going to happen in the future? See, if my whole thing was to make a prediction, then why would we do all this work? It doesn't matter how bleak the situation looks right now, but don't ever underestimate what is in a human heart, what people really want. Don't underestimate that. In 10 years' time, the whole world may just be changed into a complete different possibility, you know. It is just that people need sufficient poking to get them going. But when they get going, you don't know what they can do. They can do something that's never happened on the planet till now, isn't it? Isn't it so? So, don't try to predict future. See what kind of future do you want to create. Why are we always trying to predict future? I want you to set a goal. Before I die, I want to leave the world at least this much better. Wouldn't that be better? Instead of predicting future, why don't you set a goal for yourself, before I leave this world, I will make it at least this good. If all of us set a goal like that, definitely there's a wonderful future ahead, isn't it? We are hoping from the stars some guidance will come, Stars are dumb, inanimate rocks. Okay? You are supposed to have brains and intelligence. They don't have all that. They're just far away, but they're just dumb, unintelligent rocks. Isn't it so? Yes or no? Just because they are far away, we don't have to attach such importance to them. They are not guiding our lives. Human destiny is in human hands. How we handle it, that's what it will become. If we handle it sensibly, definitely there's a wonderful tomorrow. If we handle it foolishly, definitely there's going to be a terrible tomorrow, isn't it? So don't predict. Predictions means an insult to humanity. All predictions are a terrible insult to humanity, isn't it? Isn't it so? That means there is no value for what a human being is. All this nonsense is happening simply because you have not realized the immensity of being human. How big it is to be a human being, it's not been realized. The very wonderful stories in India you must have heard. In India there are stories like this. If gods have any problems, they get into trouble, they will come down to meet the sages and saints for advice and consultancy. You know that? This is just to tell you, a human being can raise himself to such a stage that even the gods will have to seek advice from him. Just to tell you the immensity of being human, what it means. So, if you realize the immensity of being a human being, then you won't predict, you will create. We just have to create, not predict.
Brahmananda Swarupa Isha Jagatisha Akhilananda Swarupa Isha Mahesha